We've all heard about the pentatonic scale at this point, and if you haven't, check out my other two videos that I'll link below because you'll be confused of what we're going to talk about today if you don't watch them first. As I get older, I hear things. I hear people talking about subjects such as the pentatonic scale, and I hear people talking about the 5 patterns of the pentatonic scale, but I don't really ever hear people talking about the 4-note boxes that are inside each pattern of the pentatonic scale, and that's what I want to talk about today. So each of these boxes consists of 4 notes. I know what you're thinking. The pentatonic scale is 5 notes, so why don't you just do the whole pentatonic scale? I think because of the fact that it's an even number, it makes it a little bit easier to understand and to remember. In case you're a bit rusty on the pentatonic scale, we'll go over just some details before we get started with this video. The pentatonic scale consists of 5 notes. Those 5 notes derive from the major scale, which comes from the musical alphabet. And the musical alphabet is A through G, with sharps as you ascend and flats as you descend. The only exception is when you go from B to C or E to F, there are no sharps. Or as you go down, going from F to E or C to B, there are no flats as well. The major scale formula is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half off of the musical alphabet. So this is kind of what it looks like here. For instance, if we're in C major, it would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then back to C. So the C major pentatonic scale would be the 5 whole step notes of the major scale. It looks like this. So we're going to think of these 4-note boxes numerically today, and I'll explain why here in a second. Box number 1 is 5, 6, 1, 2 of the major pentatonic scale, or in C major it's G, A, C, D. But like I said, we're going to talk numerically, and the reason why is because if I tell you the notes like G, A, C, D, but then you go to change a key, it's not going to be the same notes in every key. So if we think about it numerically, it's still going to be the same exact number note in the major pentatonic scale no matter what key you're in. So it makes sense to think of it more numerically and then just change the notes as you change keys. So here's all 5 of the boxes displayed on the guitar. Here we go. So I used to get discouraged as a kid trying to play guitar because all my guitar teachers would say you need to play 30 minutes a day. The thought of playing like these boring like little note boxes and pentatonic scale theory stuff for 30 minutes a day was so unappealing to me. And not until I was an adult I realized they didn't mean I had to practice this stuff 30 minutes a day. They just meant you had to play 30 minutes a day. So if you were to spend like 10 minutes a day practicing these boxes and scales and that sort of thing, and then you spend the rest of the time playing like metallic songs or whatever it is, whatever kind of music that got you into playing guitar in the first place, you'll be an advanced player in just a few years. So the compound effect comes into play when learning the guitar. I've spoken about this in previous videos. So it's basically the idea that if you do something for a short amount of time every day, eventually you will get good at it. And eventually means about 27 months on average, depending on the person you are. Some people are quicker, some people are slower, but on average, it takes about 2 years to get good at something. So that may seem like a long time, but that's just how things work. If somebody's telling you something different, they're probably lying to you, or they expect an unrealistic amount of practice time that is just not sustainable. Momentum is a huge factor. It's kind of like Newton's first law, the law of inertia. An object at rest tends to stay at rest, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. It's the same when learning how to play guitar. If you stop for a long period of time, it takes a while to get just back to where you were when you stopped. With this theory, consistency is key. So if you're interested in getting more information on the compound effect, I will put the link for this book below. It is definitely something that I recommend you read. I've read it twice at this point, and I'll probably read it 10 more times.